Logan Lepiscopo here with Jac Collinsworth of the Sunday Night Countdown crew. Jack, first of all, I just want to say thank you for giving us your time, man.
Hey, thanks for your time. I'm happy to be here, man. Absolutely.
All right, so the big headline, of course, coming into this matchup is Aaron Rodgers back against the team that drafted him, the team you won a Super Bowl with. What's been your mindset? What have you been feeling about Rodgers and his emotions coming into this game?
It's a funny one because we debated this all offseason between Coach Dungy, Rodney Harrison, whether it was the right move, and I was always on the side of the fence of I would do it. I mean, for $10 million, if you can even bottle up a glimmer of the MVP Rodgers, and I think Pittsburgh's gotten more than a glimmer.
Absolutely.
He looks like he can move again, which is just life-changing when you have Aaron Rodgers. It's not he doesn't have to run for 20 yards, but just to escape to throw again. I mean, he can make some magic. He did that against the Bengals. The problem was the defense just couldn't stop him on the other side.
And that's the part we want to hit on is this highest-paid defensive unit in the NFL, giving up 100-plus to Chase Brown, almost 10 a carry in that game. How do they stop Josh Jacobs, who's had 2 touchdowns across his last 3 games?
It's a great question. It's interesting because I was at that game. It was Thursday Night Football in Cincinnati, and I can remember Orlando Brown and Mims and those Bengals offensive linemen who haven't done much of anything all year in terms of pass protection or running the football, and just the energy they had. They felt like they were moving them. Orlando was yelling over to Coach Taylor saying, run the ball more, run the ball. So it was just a game where the Bengals got a little light before they lost to the Jets today. But I worry a little bit about that group. Now, if I know anything about the Steelers, it's that it doesn't usually happen twice in a row.
Absolutely.
And so this week, 10 days off, I'm sure that Coach has been on them hardcore. They just got to get a little lead and let those pass rushers go because it's hard to find a better pass rushing group anywhere in the league.
Absolutely. You got Nick Herbig kind of leading the unit.
Great.
T.J. Watt's been doing all right, but not his usual DPOY numbers we've been seeing. Now, also, the passing game killed them as well. Joe Flacco, his 40-year-old self tearing them apart with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. The Packers have a plethora of weapons. Maybe not that elite talent like Chase and Higgins, but how did Ramsey, Slay, and Joey Porter Jr. bounce back from that Thursday night matchup against Matthew Golden, Romeo Doubs?
I think that's the biggest question probably right now as it relates to the Steelers as a whole is can they be good enough on the back end to contend? And if you're going to be good enough to contend, I think that they have the offensive firepower to do it, with the way Rodgers is playing. But if they can't stop people on the back end, a team like Green Bay is a perfect test. I mean, they're probably going to give Love some time. You got to deal with his mobility and his legs. And then, like you said, they go about 5 or 6 deep with pass catchers. I think they just need leadership right now. Who's going to be the one voice in that secondary? Is it going to be Ramsey? I mean, Chase just got after him. Jamar got after him pretty good in that game. He's been a weakness. Can he become a strength, or can he at least become somewhere intermediate? I think they need him to if they're going to be a good D.
Now for the Pittsburgh offense, they're welcoming in Micah Parsons after just having Myles Garrett a couple weeks ago. How do you contain that guy plus Rashawn Gary as well? How do they keep Rodgers upright, especially Broderick Jones, who we've seen struggle in the past?
I think you run the ball. That's what I would do. I mean, I would hammer it. I would run right at Micah Parsons. I mean, he every year is 95, 93 pass rush grade, and usually his run blocking grade is somewhere in the 70s. And so you have an opportunity there, and I think that's how you can fatigue him a bit and then take your spots where you want to chip and double team him and buy yourself a little extra time. But I think Mike Tomlin, old school Steelers football, will lean first on let's run it right at these guys, and then we'll throw it when we need to.
Say the wide receiver room, DK Metcalf,
been
they're
crazy,
getting
right?
Calvin Austin back, but the tight ends seem to be slowly but surely progressing, become a bigger part of the offense. Johnny Smith, Darnell Washington getting a touchdown, Pat Frymuth coming off a 100-yard game. How can they get those tight ends more involved against this Packers defense?
It's nice to see Frymuth be as focal of this offense, a focal point in this offense like he's been, because there's times in the past, even if I go back to last year when they were playing Fields and Russ, and you're saying, let's get Frymuth the football a little bit just to get those additional somebody else you have to look at and worry about. And I think Fryermuth's going to be big not only tonight but as the year goes on, just to take a little of that pressure off of DK Metcalf. It's become very heavily reliant on one guy in DK, but last week you saw the Bengals shade that way, and Rodgers was making them pay with Fryermuth. So my guess is the tight ends on both sides tonight, but Fryermuth in particular will be huge.
All right, Jack, that's all I got for you. I appreciate you hopping on with Erie News Now. Looking forward to the game tonight. We'll have plenty more coverage on Erie News Now later this evening.
Erie News Now, great to be here. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.